She
Uh,
should sue him.
sure.
She should 100% sue him. In
Yeah.
fact, I'll say this. I'll say this. How do you think a woman should react to, let's say, a friend doing that to her?
So I actually wanted to have this conversation with you, but as a man, I feel like it's not my place. So I actually,
Mhm.
there's this girl who's been dying to speak with you. Her name's Deeds Barb. She actually wanted to speak with you as a woman. Are you okay with her coming in?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna make a group call real quick.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear your Deeds, but yeah, I'm gonna respond to Honey. But she wants to know what I think. I was gonna say
I
just
just
for
heard a little bit of the conversation about the ICE stuff.
that's
So,
fine.
one thing that was missing from the ICE stuff that you guys were just discussing is that I think the tweet was pertaining to Pixie's wife in particular. So, I think the tweet was something like Pixie's wife is here illegally, or they married for the wrong reasons, and she just got married for a green card or whatever. Therefore, go ahead and report her, right? I think that was the tweet.
But you do know he's attacking her, right?
Yes, I agree. But I think one of the things
After
that
she
came out.
accused him of something.
Yes, that's true. One of the things that came out during the court case was that Lauren de Laguna's mom was bribed by Pixie. Did you know that?
It doesn't look to me, it really doesn't matter. All that matters is Destiny, what Destiny did.
Okay, so this is how it's played out. So basically, these two are fighting in a court of law. He finds out that Pixie was using money and other methods to have her wife in the country. Lauren de Laguna's mom was bribed with, I think, $10,000 to sponsor Pixie's wife, and he used that as ammo against her. Is that so bad since they're in a court case?
Like in the moral sense, I do. I 100% think it's terrible because he's attacking her after she accused him of something egregious that he actually did.
Right. So let's say you're in a court case and it's up to the court to decide what happened. And then you come across this information that the person who's attacking you used like 10K to bribe someone to get someone to stay here illegally. Wouldn't that really make you angry? Like, I think it would piss me off because to me, immigration is something I take seriously. And when people protest ICE, they're thinking of like really poor immigrants. They're not thinking of like rich Italian ladies who can bribe their way into the country. You know what I mean?
But again, going back to what I was saying, I
Mhm.
think he should have just settled, period. And there's something that I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Any sensible father would want Destiny dead. That's just what I have to say. Any sensible father would want Destiny dead for what he did.
Okay, sensible father
You
as
wouldn't
in
agree?
Pixie's dad?
Okay. You wouldn't know, not Pixie's dad. I'm talking about dads in general, fathers in general. They would want someone like Destiny dead. You wouldn't agree
Um,
with that?
I would say so. Okay, so in my mind, I understand that there's this biblical idea of like retribution and killing people, but that's why we have courts of law because cooler heads must prevail. Just because I think someone's done me wrong doesn't mean that society thinks that they've done wrong, right? That's why we have juries, that's why we have judges, and that's why it's being adjudicated in a court of law. So my
Well,
only issue with this entire thing has always been why can't everyone just let the court case play out without being judge, jury, and executioner and attacking not just Destiny, but people around him. So I know of you, and I'm not going to attack you because I'm just curious on your thoughts here. I know you through the Stardust thing. Like I saw you tweeting at Stardust saying that she doesn't have a right to be offended when people talk about her body because she associates with Destiny.
mhm.
So I'm not really sure what the logic is there.
I am done supporting like every single woman when a lot of them are supporting abusers. I'll give you an example. Amber
Mhm.
Heard. She's a perfect example of this. So many people, so many women made fun of her rape. When she was talking about her rape, so many women on TikTok were making fun of her and saying, oh, I would like it if a guy did that to me, as Amber Heard was describing Johnny Depp raping her. So that is a perfect example of me. I don't like women who support abusers, men like
Right.
Destiny. And I'm tired of that. I'm really, really tired of that. I don't feel bad when people make fun of Stardust. I don't.
Okay, but I find it odd because Stardust has never really come out and said exactly what she thinks about the case. She's like me in the same camp as me, which is very much, we think that he's probably fine in terms of the evidence we've seen. That's my guess. But we don't know for sure, but we think it's a he said, she said, and it's being adjudicated. If there's more things that come out that make it so that he's completely in the wrong and Pixie's completely in the right, I don't know what that evidence could be. It's either exonerating evidence or evidence that will cost him a lot of money. But either way, we're willing to wait. So I don't understand why every woman has to be preemptively punished simply for a loose association with Destiny. Could you explain that a little bit more?
What do you think about the new thing that came out today then?
The new thing that came out today, the little snippet which says, I don't think she's okay with it. We didn't discuss it. I took that to mean we didn't discuss the leaks, but I think some people took that to mean we didn't discuss the consent. I don't know if he meant consent in that, but I'd be very interested to hear what he has to say in court when he's asked that question. Yeah.
But it's the fact that he has so many people accusing him of doing the same thing, the same exact thing. And since you're a woman, I don't understand how this doesn't make you puke, how listening or being around him doesn't irk you. I'll give you, for me, I criticized Hassan Piker when he was going after Amber Heard, and he still lies about it today. He still lies about it today that he wasn't going after her, that Asmongold was doing worse to her. I criticized him. I had my foot on his neck. For me, feminism always comes first, women come first. And I don't understand you as a woman, you're not triggered by what Destiny did, especially knowing that he did it to so many women.
I'll explain it to you. It's not too difficult. So when I first heard of the story, when it first broke, it came across that there were videos being sent back and forth between a bunch of people. I wasn't really sure what the terms of consent were or what the terms discussed were. But as news broke after the initial Substack, it came out that Pixie and Destiny at some point made the video, so there was consent to make the video and to distribute the video. They both said that they would distribute it to third parties. Now, according to Pixie, the only third party she gave consent for was Melina, his current partner. But according to Destiny, he and her discussed having it sent to mutual partners, like mutual trusted partners. So there seems to be a misunderstanding there. And to the best of my knowledge, from what I've seen from the court documents that have come out so far, he also did not know that she sent his and her videos, to her then boyfriend. He was flabbergasted by that. He was like, oh, she sent like 3 videos? I was surprised by that. So it seems like both of them had like a very loose agreement. I'm not really sure. Both of them can't really recall the specifics, which I think is quite normal because all of this took place like so long ago. So my question to you is, like in these cases where there is ambiguity, where there's a he said, she said, when people take sides, I think taking sides is completely normal. You know, there's people in the like extended Destiny community too, like someone named Lonerbox who was really good friends with him. He decided that he wanted to be on Pixie's side.
Can you hear this?
Yes, when we were talking. Yes, because he was telling me that he was like super jealous and shit. So I had no idea she was on our shit. I figured that he probably won't want to see it. But now, would I say that we had implied consent? Well, no, because I'm pretty sure when we recorded this stuff, we talked about like, hey, if we, like one of the phrases that she used is we agreed not to send it around to people, basically. It's like, okay, yeah, don't ship it around to everybody, don't let it leak. But like basically the idea is like, hey, like if you have partners ever, that's fine. Like, yeah, make sure it doesn't leak. So like, is that like, we explicitly said that, but it's not like an explicit ask per person, but I don't know if I would just call that implied, right? So you see, there's not like a clean and easy way to describe that interaction.
What do you think about that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. And that's pretty much in line with
so he knew, he knew that she was going to send it to
he thought it was likely, but she didn't ask him for permission every time she sent the video, which I think is his point, which is that they didn't have an agreement to be like, hey, I'm sending it to this person, I'm sending it to this person, which to me seems like a maximalist, like sexual thing that I don't understand. I don't have a video sharing kink personally, but I don't know what Pixie's line is there as well, because I wouldn't do what she did either, which is like agreeing to send it to Melina even. For me, I would be freaked freaked out to send it to his wife even. But that is my line. So I don't understand what her line is. That's why I said, like, I'm interested to hear her testimony when she's in a court of law. Until that point, I don't really know what to make of what the two of them did, what the two of them agreed to, basically. So for me, it's satisfactory that I can wait it out and I don't have to throw away my friendship. And I think perhaps Stardust also has the exact same feeling. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but that is my feeling there too. So I'm just wondering why everyone is so eager to destroy him before the court destroys him if he's such an evil person.
Because the courts defends a lot of men. A lot of men get away with rape. Who's that actor from House of Cards? This is like a man's world, basically. So I believe Destiny is gonna win this case, not because I want him to, but because he's a man and he's very, very fucking rich. So the court case, I don't give a fuck about that at all. All I care about is what he did. And the fact that he did it to so many women. Blue Tea. I really want to speak about Blue Tea and what your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I do know of that because, I mean, when this all came out, I remember watching the Ryan Beard video where he went through all of Destiny's controversies. It was very handy, actually, because it went through all of his controversies. I've heard of that too. And from what I understand, like, to me, he was a piece of shit for what he did there. And I make no bones about saying that. He was for sure a piece of shit for talking smack about her, calling her ugly.
He sexually abused her. It's sexual abuse. Sharing images. It's image-based.
Categorize it as sexual abuse. Yeah, you can call it image. I guess you can. That's language I personally wouldn't use, but I understand. He distributed her pictures and called her ugly, and she, as a result of that, which I don't support, but I understand why she was angry. She did distribute his pictures of his penis as well to a much bigger crowd. So I think about 32K people. So I think that was wrong as well. It's not a proportionate response. I think she should have probably pursued another avenue or defamed him in public or something else and not broken into his email and spread it. Do you agree with that? Do you think she maybe shouldn't have responded in that way?
Okay. The thing is, if I go to that notion, then I'm saying, hey, the sexual abuse victim shouldn't have reacted like this. People who are victims of this, they don't react in rational ways. I don't know if you've ever been a victim of SA or anything like that. I wouldn't have reacted like that. I probably would have beat his fucking ass if he did that to me. That's what I would have done. And that's not rational either. Maybe that's not rational, but it's what I'm trying to say. When you go through something like that, you don't know what you're going to do. You don't.
Right. And that's why I don't chastise her.
Be forgiven.
Yeah, but that's why I don't chastise her for doing what she did, and I'm pretty sure he did not pursue anything legal against her. I think he might have made some empty threats, but he kind of, I think, has recently copped to it. He's like, you know what, she licked my dick because I was a dick to her. I said things about her in a private chat and I shouldn't have, and so I deserved it. I'm pretty sure he said that when he was reacting to the Ryan Beard video.
Here's the thing. He got fired from Root. That's number one. He got fired from Root, so that was his punishment. When you get punished, you're supposed to learn from your mistakes, right? You learn from them.
Wait, why?
And going to the same thing again.
Not really, no. So in this case, no. He didn't.
There's other women. There's other women.
He didn't send Pixie's pictures to his friends to smack talk what she looks like, did he? He sent it to a girl he was gooning with, and she sent it to a man she was gooning with. So it's a completely different story. It's a total change.
It's not the talking bad. It's sexual abuse, period, to send it to other people.
It's the sending of the videos that bother you, right? But the context here is completely different. He didn't send it to his friends to be like, she looks like Shrek. He was literally gooning with a girl, and both him and Pixie seem to have a video making and sharing kink. It's a kink that I personally don't understand completely, but I don't judge people's kink. So I understand they have this kink. The only thing in contention here is who they were allowed to send it to. According to her, they were only allowed to send it to Melina, his then wife, and her then boyfriend. But according to him, he was allowed to send it to more people. So we can have a disgust response to a maximalist view of sex. That's okay. But I'm not going to judge that. I only want to judge who they were able to send it to. And it's very ambiguous to me who they were allowed to send it to at this point. The court, what it's going to do is look at corroborating evidence. They're going to look at their text messages, and they're going to see what a reasonable person could have inferred. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that when it comes to that, personally. So I don't understand why. I don't know if you've heard of something called a snark left.
That's exactly what that's me.
That's you? What does that mean?
I'm in there. Well, I'm in there.
Oh, you are? Okay. So you know them.
Yeah,
See, so that's
100%.
what I don't understand. I don't understand why a large group of people is so ready to become judge, jury, and executioner before this case is done. Like it is in the courts. Like let it play out. Apparently, Cherry has a police report out there. Let that play out. To me, that is a very normal thing to do. And let's say for some reason the justice system fails us, and we can prove it that the justice system has this huge failing. In that case, I think it's fine for people to distance themselves. But again, I don't understand this need to be total destiny death. That was like a little phrase that was circulating amongst Justical and all these men. Those phrases that are circulating around, I don't understand the need for all of that preemptively.
I mean,
that's the only problem I have.
He did. I mean, he did sexually abuse many of these women.
He did send videos of them, yes, but they took videos together for the Pixie case. I know what's out, right? So the other cases, nothing else is out. So with the Pixie case, they took a video. They decided to send it to third parties. The third parties, the only thing that's in contention is the nature of the third parties. It's really important to remember that they both said that they were allowed to send it to third parties. One thing that I would like to ask you is why was that context missing from Pixie's Substack? I don't get it. Like, why didn't she say we both made videos, we decided to send it to our then partners? She said he leaked my nudes or he sent my nudes to impress people with my body.
Because that's all that matters. No, that's all that matters.
Not really.
Literally all that matters.
Let me give you an example.
All that matters is that he sent it to someone he barely fucking knew and it got leaked. Even if his intent wasn't to hurt Pixie, that could be 100% valid. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day because she ended up getting hurt because of him.
That's true. But one thing,
because of his negligence.
She agreed. She agreed to send it to someone she barely knew. She told him that the video could be sent to his wife. She didn't know his wife at the time. So she kind of was, I don't want to call her negligent or reckless. I don't think that's fair.
Wait. Can you repeat that again? She agreed to what?
She agreed to send it to his wife. No, she said, let's make a sex video and you can send it to your wife. So she doesn't know Melina.
Okay, it doesn't matter. She meant Destiny knowing Rose. What was her name? Yeah, Rose. For that little amount of time. That's what she meant.
So hold on. How would she know whether or not Melina, Destiny's wife, was an unstable woman with proclivities to be jealous and to leak? How would she know that? So for me,
it doesn't matter. She gave him consent.
Yeah, let's be dead honest here. Like, this is a very unusual sexual kink, is it not? Like, it's something that most people would be too scared to do. They'd be too nervous, and I don't want to judge it for sure. But to me, saying things like, "Oh, like why send it to Rose?" I'm also thinking, why send it to Melina? Because I don't know this girl. Like, what if she leaks?
It doesn't matter. That's her attitude. That was she wanted. That's what she wanted to do.
I agree. That's what she wanted.
It doesn't matter. That's it.
No. I think it does matter. I think it does matter, but what I want to know is, did Destiny know that she only wanted to send it to Melina? That's the only thing I want to know. I want to know if he knew what was in her head. I want to know the nature of their discussions, because lots of times, things get lost in translation when you're discussing these things.
Let's see, because he actually said that he knows he hurt her. Obviously, I have severely, at the very least, psychologically damaged her. Covering therapy is whatever minimum. So he knows he psychologically damaged
hold on.
her.
Let me tell you this.
He's responding to someone who said you distributed it non-consensually.
Well, that's up to the courts to decide. But let's say
that's what it says here. That's what it says in the logs.
Yeah, I know, but the logs, you're trying to interpret it in a very particular way. Let's say I get into an accident and I hit you by accident. I'm going to try and make amends. It doesn't mean that I did it on purpose or I actually did something like severely wrong. I could have swerved away in my car for whatever reason, but I'm going to try and make amends. It doesn't matter whether I intended to or whether or not you were responsible partially. Because you're hurt, I'm going to try and help you. So you can interpret the logs in a charitable way or in a bad faith way. That is up to you. And I'm okay with you interpreting it in a bad faith way. The only thing I have a problem with is you and the Snark left. I don't know how much you participate with them. The only thing I have a problem with is all of you deciding that you know better than courts, that you know for sure that he has done something so bad that anyone who's near him is guilty by association. That is my issue. That's my only issue. If you want to say this guy's a piece of shit, I don't want to watch his content, that's fine with me. That's half the world already.
I mean, the reason why people think that is because he has multiple people accusing him again. So what do you have to? He has multiple people accusing him. So I wonder, why would people think that he is so fucking horrible when he has multiple women accusing him?
Right. And I think that's a good question. So one of the things that I found a little unusual, because we've been talking a lot about Destiny, one of the things that I found a little bit unusual from you is your tendency to give Hassan a free pass when you've seen him
Oh my
on
God, let's go
stream.
back. Oh my God, let's go back to what we're talking about. He has multiple accusers. You're doing
Yes,
a thing on
and
Twitter that I
I've
hate
definitely
people do so much. I don't give a fuck about Hassan. I'll criticize him.
but
I'll criticize
hold
him.
on.
But we're talking, no. We're talking about the people accusing him. The people, that's what I want to talk
Yes.
about. That's why I
Yeah.
came here. The people accusing him.
So hold on. You say that now, but I've seen a tweet of you saying that Hassan is okay to distribute nudes from women that he got from Snapchat because they were not
Oh my God.
solicited. You deny saying that? Because I've seen that tweet. I'm seeing it right now.
No, I have it up. I
Yep.
haven't deleted it, which is why I'm saying if you get unsolicited nudes, you never made that consent. You never made that, hey, I'm not going to
And
share
that's
it with
okay.
anyone
That makes
else.
it okay to distribute.
Oh, don't fucking send me fucking nudes. That's fucking sexual assault. Don't send me nudes if I don't ask for them. Don't
Hold
send
on.
me nudes.
You think when Hassan was showing the men on his stream the nudes, he was saying, "Look at this disgusting girl. She is assaulting me, and therefore look how disgusting she is." Or was he saying, "Look at this hot chick. She sent me her
Should I
nudes"?
chime in or let them do
But I don't
1v1?
think I
Should I
look.
let them
Be
talk?
honest
To be
here.
honest, I'm
feel like I
going to
should
be
let them
honest
talk.
with you. I genuinely don't think it fucking matters when you're sending someone unsolicited nudes.
You think when you're sending
People-
someone unsolicited nudes, they are allowed to show off your body for social clout?
I'm obviously gonna fucking. I would embarrass you. I would embarrass you. I don't think the reasoning matters. All that matters is that you.
You think he was embarrassing the girls, or was he saying something like, "Wow, she's really hot. She sent me a nude on Snapchat"?
You cannot send someone unsolicited nudes and not expect people to not fucking see that shit. Don't send people unsolicited nudes. Don't do that. That's not okay.
Okay,
Whether you're a man or a woman.
what if he didn't even get nudes from the person that he thought was sending it to him? What if, like for instance, I wanted to impress Hassan and let's not take my example. Let's say like a disgusting person got like a picture of a minor and sent it to Hassan, being like, "Here, this is my Snapchat," and he showed it to all of his friends. Would that be okay with you? Because that person's now using. Sorry, what?
What if a man did the same exact thing that you just said? A man did it to me.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good question.
Send me nudes from someone else.
Mm-hmm. Yes. What if they did do that? That's what I'm saying. Your justification for distributing nudes is wacky. Like
look,
you
no,
can't
no,
just say.
no.
Yeah, it is. It is wacky. I'm sorry, it is. Because like I said, you don't know who's sending you the stuff. The actual response is to block the person, delete the nude, and just say that person, that thing that just happened to me was crazy. You don't have to distribute it. You don't have to show off on your stream.
No. You're saying the appropriate response. But if you're a woman again, and you're in that situation,
Hassan's not a woman though.
It's fucking disgusting. No,
The last time I checked.
me. You're talking about me, and you brought my experience. I'm gonna.
No. I'm not too interested in your. I actually don't want to talk about your experience. I don't think we need to. If we can, if you'd like to.
You just said.
In my hypothetical, yeah. But regardless of whether or not he solicits them, it doesn't make sense to me that he's getting Snapchats from very young fans, most likely, and he's somewhat allowed to distribute them because he. Did I know what? Do I know what? Do I know whether they're young or not? I'm not entirely sure. No.
Like very good. Exactly. So
the impunity is enough for me to not share those things around. So it's obvious to me from context that he's doing it to show off to his boys. Now, anyone who says that he's not doing it to show off is lying to me. And now you're seeming very bad faith. You can grant it if you're not attached to Hassan. Just like I said, remember in this conversation just a few minutes ago, I said that Destiny was a piece of shit for distributing blue tea shit and like calling her ugly. And you know what? He probably deserved some of the blowback, even though I don't agree with some of it. But you can't say that Hassan was wrong. So who over here is being good faith? Who over here is being honest?
No, but I just said what Darius just posted.
So he's a piece of shit
that's
now?
disgusting. No, that's fucking disgusting. He's been a piece of shit ever since he fucking shamed Amber Heard. What I'm trying to say is that I don't think you should be friends with someone like Destiny or associated with someone like him.
Okay, that
and
is
call yourself a
absolutely that
feminist.
is my choice, and I hear what you're saying. You think that every woman should distance from him, and that is okay. And that is an okay opinion to have. If you want to be like, wow, Deeds is a weirdo for associating with Destiny, I think that's fine. One thing
Let me,
I don't fuck with though is
I'll
everyone saying things
continue.
like,
It'll continue until she either has a huge break, realization, J
mhm.
Star gets tired, bored of her, or she kills herself. I have zero care in the world about doxes for
Oh,
literally any
she
of
is
these
getting fed
people in Spicy
information.
Chat. That's what Destiny said about Cherry.
Okay, yeah. And do you know who he's referring to the people in Spicy Chat?
Okay, again, the first
Uh-huh.
one, he's saying that he hopes she kills herself.
Ooh, Cherry?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And you just said that you just said that people probably wish their political opponents died. That's natural. You said every dad probably wishes Destiny died. Like, so
But he's doing this to people who are accusing him of sexual
I think,
abuse.
yeah, I understand. And I think that's normal. I think it's normal to be like, wow, this person's lying about me. I hope they die. And I don't think he means that he wants to commission a contract killing against her.
I mean,
I don't
you
believe he's
can.
ever done that.
What do you? So you think Cherry's lying?
No, I don't think Cherry's lying. I think Cherry, I don't know. So when she's filed her case, I'm interested to see what comes out. I actually don't know. I simply do not know. I'm just not friends with her. If I were friends with her, I would continue being friends with her and not speak to Destiny. But because I've been friends with him since before all of this, I continue to be his friend. Is that very difficult to understand?
So that is very difficult for me to understand because I wouldn't be friends with someone who has these many accusations against them. I wouldn't.
Would you be friends with Bad Empanada?
I mean, does he have accusations?
Do you mean sexual accusations
wouldn't.
or other wrongdoings?
Sexual accusations.
I'm pretty sure he does. I think he's living in a different country to evade the police for some sort of sexual.
I haven't seen the accusations. I haven't seen that. People
Okay.
said that, but I haven't seen that.
Got
And
it.
if you've shown me that, I wouldn't associate with him.
Gotcha. Okay. I thought there was quite prevalent knowledge. I thought it was quite well distributed. The fact that he. Well, I did think
Nobody
that.
actually showed anything. Nobody actually showed anything.
Wait,
And if
to
you
you
showed me,
personally, or you don't think it's out there in the world?
no, I mean, nobody actually showed that the court documents nothing, or people accusing him. Nobody said an accuser.
Okay, so you have a favorite person, and you don't want to dismiss him because of rumors that you've heard.
I just said
I'm in a similar situation.
I just said I would dismiss him if he was accused of something.
If he was accused of something or proven to have done something.
Accused,
They're different,
no,
right?
accused. If he was accused by, I would. If he had that many people accusing him, I 100% would not associate with him.
Got it. Okay. So there's a threshold that you need to use to reach in order to be like, okay, I'm not going to associate with this person. And again, that is your right. That is your right. Based on the evidence I have seen, I think there's a credibility issue with Pixie. I don't know about Cherry because I don't know what's happening with her report. But with Pixie, there's a bit of a credibility issue. I do think there might be a little bit of blackmail happening. I'm not entirely sure. That was my early impression, but I'm willing to change that impression if I see contrary evidence. I'm not sure that you're willing to change your impression given contrary evidence. That is the issue.
Wait, what do you mean?
So I think tomorrow, if it comes out that there's a piece of information that proves that Pixie was planning on blackmailing Destiny, I'm not sure that you would be like, oh wow, she was in the wrong.
I don't even know if I want to say. I don't even like care about saying this, but I've been essayed before, and the guy who did it to me, if he were to become famous, I would 100% tell him, you better fucking pay me, or I will tell everyone. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
You don't see anything wrong with that?
No,
okay.
You have to fucking pay me for what you did to me. You have to fucking pay me for what the fuck you did to me. And Destiny has to pay Pixie for what he did to her 1000%. I would
advise you to take the course of the law and to contact a lawyer so that they can do everything on your behalf rather than just sending them a text, because that's going to bite you in the ass, honey.
I'm not talking about the law. I'm talking about the
I know you're not, and that's what concerns me.
Okay, no,
that's what concerns me.
What concerns me, no, but the law doesn't protect women. It doesn't.
You don't think
women.
any law protects women ever? You don't think there's sexual harassment laws that have there's rape shield laws?
That's not what I said. That's okay. Okay, you see, if I say the law doesn't protect women, I'm talking about, you know what the fuck I'm saying. You're saying, oh wait, you're talking about all laws? You're doing the same thing Destiny does. Yes,
No,
of course there are
I
laws
would
that
say
protect.
I
No,
think
there
I'm
are,
handling this conversation quite
okay,
well. We've never discussed this actually
no,
to this depth, but I think
of
so. I
course,
understand
look,
what you mean. The legal
okay,
system.
so of course there are laws that protect women,
Uh-huh.
like rape laws, but I'm talking about a lot of women not getting justice in the legal system. There's so many women
Yeah,
that don't get justice in the legal system.
I agree with you. I think there's unfortunately so much
Okay, so
backlog with rape kits.
why are you taking literally when I say, hey, a
No,
lot of
I'm not
laws that
taking
protect
literally.
women?
No, I understand what you mean. You're telling me, like, in general, legal systems do tend to favor things like the rich, things like men.
Okay,
Yes, because they have more power.
so why would you say, oh, so you mean, oh, there are no laws to protect women?
No, I didn't mean that. I thought that's what you meant because you said something like if my ex, who
I
unfortunately
actually
essayed you.
don't know. No, but I actually like don't agree with you. I think you were being bad faith, like just there. I think you knew what I meant.
No. So the thing that concerned me only was that you said that with your ex that you would intend to write a
wasn't
little
my
letter to
ex.
them and ask for
He
money, and
wasn't
I
my
told
ex.
you not to do that because I
He
don't think you
wasn't
need to
my
do it.
ex. He wasn't my ex.
Yeah, whatever.
He
The
wasn't my
guy
ex.
who did the dipshit who did the shit to you. That dipshit. Like you said that if you wanted to extract money from him, you would do it in a certain way. And
I know.
I'm advising you
I
not
would
to do
tell him
that
to
because
his face.
this call is being transmitted to at least 1,000 people right now, and it can be used against you. So I'm just saying, go through lawyers. That's all I'm saying.
No. Well, that bum is not gonna go anywhere, so it's not gonna happen. What
Oh,
I'm
it was a
trying to say is
hypothetical.
that,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
what I'm trying to say is that I reject this notion of blackmail. I don't give a fuck if it comes out that she was blackmailing him or extorting him. I give a fuck about the accusations and the pain that he caused her, and him saying that she's not actually suicidal when she is.
Oh, whoops! Sorry, my mic wasn't on. Honey, I understand those feelings you have of, that you want to blackmail this guy. You want to make sure they get as much revenge as possible for the pain they've done you for. In the situation with Steven, personally, in my opinion, I feel like he was communicating with her to try to settle it without there being that, legal situation that can make it have to decide what's blackmail and what's not. But it ended up going too far. I mean, he kind of got blindsided with the whole lawsuit thing. I mean, if you want for the Substack,
no,
and then
not the lawsuit, the Substack, and a few things like the lie of omission I talked about, her age being misrepresented, as well as the nature of the sexual tapes. I think if she had just gone for a lawsuit, they would have settled it by now with no Substack attached.
Yeah, and also maybe if they just had a conversation about whatever is necessary, she could have talked to him about numbers. Maybe they could have settled on something before it ever got legal. Who knows? But that didn't end up happening.
There is something I still don't understand what I was again saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who has these many accusations. I don't know how you don't get, how you don't get, I would say, the ick in general.
That's an interesting question, and I think everyone's line is somewhere else. I think there's a lot of people out there who would find him too controversial, but I know what our personal conversations are like. I knew the evidence before a lot of people did. I've been friends with him for a while. I saw some of the stuff before some people did, and I made my own conclusions based on that. And I think if I'm wrong about him, I will deal with the repercussions of it because I've been very public about my friendship with him, and I'm ready to deal with the blowback. And it wouldn't be the first time I was wrong, but you know what? We put ourselves out there and we live and we learn. So thank you for your concern, though. All right, I'm gonna dip and have a good conversation with Destiny. Bye.
But I understand what your point is. I'm listening to you talk to Deeds, and I get where you're coming from. You're just kind of like, it seems like you just kind of hate the guy, honestly. But it seems like what you're saying is if any of these things happen to you, you'd be doing similar actions to Pixie. But I really don't think you. But let's be honest.
I would be doing worse.
But honey,
I would be doing worse.
I think you would be doing worse. But I think what she did was pretty weird and like not like normal. Like when everything first came out, like I remember like they were posting logs with each other. It looked like everything was okay. Like everything was fine. It looked like they were just talking. They were like relatively coming to a solution.
She wasn't okay. She was not okay.
Did you see that? Did you see? Well, I mean, she was freaking the fuck out.
she was talking to him, but she was freaking out. Oh wait, give me a second. What is that?
I think she started freaking out. If you want to ask me, because I see how these people work a little bit. It seems like she started freaking out after she started going around and like these like you know this, you're in a snark left server, so you understand it. These places like the snark left, where it seems like everybody kind of knows something because these are like the most psychotic, like obsessed people, and everybody there is talking about these things. But in reality,
no.
But like we know what I'm saying though. Like there's like a lot of these like server spaces, and there's like these like specific niche communities where they kind of like talk a lot about.
But that's DGG too. That's DGG too.
Well, I was like a DGGer during that time, and I didn't even know that it was Pixie in the videos. I didn't.
But right now, that's all you guys do. You guys harass people. You guys are obsessed with talking about Hassan. That's number one.
I think that people do that.
Another.
But I think that people do that because it's like if you're going to obsess and harp on people, there's like other people for you to also do that with, and not just one particular guy. And it seems like when you're like the Snark Left server, I think it's like a H3 and like Destiny Snark server really mostly. And it's like when these places are existent, and it's like this seems like their targets are usually these two people. It's just like. It seems weird. It's like if you're gonna snark, just go on a global world tour, because there's a lot of like people out there that are also heinous that you could really fuck with, and like really like snark on, and it makes sense. But instead, it seems like it's kind of just like people trying to like virtue signal.
That's what you guys do. It's what you guys do. Once it's public, it's like better. That's what you guys do. You guys snark all the time.
Do you think I do that?
I haven't really been paying attention to you specifically or what you post, but I know. But Destiny has definitely been snarking 100%. Hassan, 100%.
I think Destiny's been snarking Hassan. I think Destiny's been commenting on things that Hassan's been talking about, and I think he's reciprocating the same behaviors that Hassan does to him. If you want to call that snarking, sure. But I think it's a mutual snark, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, calling him a pedo. Is Hassan a pedo?
But doesn't he call Destiny Rapesony?
Oh,
come on. Okay, well Hassan might have gotten nudes on Snapchat from a minor. Get that big of a pedophile then? I mean, like, it's like
you're making an assumption.
I mean, you're making an assumption that he is like a rapist, or like he's even a sex pest. Like I don't know what he fucking does. Like I don't know. I don't look at his DMs with specific people. Like you're making based off this situation, you're trying to say he's a sex pest because he sent nudes to a girl. Like, bro, people send nudes to girls. Doesn't make you a fucking sex pest. I think sex pests are. When I think of sex pests, I usually think of someone that's like pushing people for sex that like don't want it, or they're like trying to constantly push people for sex in like non-sex situations.
For me, it's someone who has number one, a sex addiction. I'm not saying that about him. Just that's something I would say. Somebody who talks to their fans all the time, flirts with them, tries to have sex with them.
Sure. I maybe call that like a sex addict, or maybe I call someone like a hoe.
I also think a
whore.
I also think
I wouldn't call him
a
like
guy who dates a guy who has a tendency to date or go after younger women.
A guy who has a tendency to go
young, like 18, 19, 20.
Would you say
when
Destiny?
You're in your 30s, 35?
Yeah, but again, with not to like, it sounds like I'm glazing the dude, and I really don't want it to come off like that. I'm not like this. I understand that they seem that way because I just offend them, bro. But like, when you're like a celebrity on like the internet, and the people that generally dominate the space are like people that are around the ages of 20 to 22, like 18 to like 24, 26. You know, you're gonna get a lot of people around that age, and like that's just kind of how it works online. I'm not saying he's seeking out these people, but that's definitely like it's gonna seem that way, especially if you're a 30-something-year-old man that doesn't mind fucking around. I wouldn't say that. I would say he's like hunting down 18-year-olds though.
Look, I've said this before. I think in general, it's natural to have like a soft spot for someone you look up to. I think that's normal.
Do you think I look up to?
I do think you look up to him 100%. I think you look up to him.
I think
1,000%.
Sure, but I think I can be critical.
You have admiration. You have admiration for him.
I talked to Steven's wife during a lot of the situations that was going on, and I've openly said that I think that Steven was like being I think he's a bad husband. I think that he has done bad actions. I think he's been a little extreme. He's been pretty extreme. I think he's been like, I think I don't really know what else to like. I don't really know what like every single drama he's ever had and the ins and outs of it.
No,
So I really don't know
like,
how to like critique other things. But I think in this
I
current
meant
situation,
more as in I understand like looking up to someone, having like a soft spot for them. But for me, I draw like a hard line on certain things. And I don't know, like for other people, they don't have that line at all. And that is something that's concerning to me. But
um,
in leftist spaces, liberals too, there's a lot of sexism. And I hate that people think that it's only Republicans. I'll give you an example of leftists being very misogynistic. The Black Panthers, them 100%. A lot of them were raping Black women in their group back then. A lot of them were raping Black women. Huey P. Newton, he was also accused of rape. So like it's very personal for me. The left has to be criticized on the misogyny. And people like Destiny, I see him as a danger,
you
as a
see
danger
him
to women on the left. Yes, 100%.
I think when we're having like people like platter that have like raped women and then we're calling like Steven's behavior as like sexual abuse, I
Well,
think that's like taking away from like the words like a
well,
lot.
well, it's
Like,
image.
you know
It's
what I mean? Like
image.
I think it's like I think maybe if you want to say like it makes it easy for Republicans to attack for like if there's any like political stuff, sure. But Destiny's not a political like he's a political commentator. He's not
You
running
need
for
to put an
office.
emphasis. There
Huh?
needs to be an emphasis on what he did, an emphasis on the egregious thing that he did. Sharing nudes is bad. Sharing like without it's bad.
But that's what he's being sued for, so we're trying to figure that out, right?
But there are other women too. You know
Well,
that,
yeah,
right?
but why aren't any of the other women going on the lawsuit then? That'd be like an easy
Okay,
dunk, right?
why doesn't a woman go to the police then when she gets raped?
That makes sense. But if some girl was suing them, I think people go in like lawsuits later on when
Yeah, but you
people
see,
get like sexually assaulted.
you're trying to like rationalize it. It doesn't really
I'm
work
not
like
trying to.
that.
I'm not.
Like
I'm not
the
trying.
way
I'm not
the way
trying to
that they act.
I'm not trying to rationalize it. I'm just not saying like, oh, something happened bad. I'm trying to figure out, okay, why did this happen? What's going on? Who's doing what? Okay, this person said multiple victims exist. I think Pixie literally said like there's like 15, 12 girls. I was like, okay, where are the fucking 12 girls? Where's like even 11? Like I was talking to one of the girls that she said did it. The girl literally, one of the girls that's on her lawsuit right now, literally had like brain damage and was like showing me pictures of Destiny without his consent of him naked to me, and I didn't want to fucking see that. So it's like I don't even know like what the fuck this woman's talking. Like this woman's over here talking about bullshit. Like I'm like
What do you mean
what?
brain damage?
Fucking Abby.
Like you mean
When,
like
like no, it's like her. She literally has
oh,
like she has like a like brain damage. Like she has. I don't know if you know who she is. She actually had like she had a car accident. And her brain like doesn't work like fully.
but you see,
Like,
you're trying to devalue her accusations against him.
well, I'm not trying to devalue it. I'm just trying to look at what's going. Like if someone like if a guy on the street like was like homeless and like screaming like I hate no sorry, he wore like a tinfoil hat and was like screaming, I'd be like, and he said you raped me, I'd probably be like, wait, I like you're kind of like a schizo. I don't think that happened. Like I'm trying to
So I
figure out
think
like
this
I'm
is
trying to
her.
figure who.
I think this is her. By the way, Destiny sends me sex tapes all the time, and he thinks I don't know the girls in them, but I have videos of him fucking Sherry and Pixie, like
Yes.
LMFAO. He just sent me another one. Haven't opened it. Let's see who he's fucking this time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's Abby.
Yeah. And Abby has no links, no Google Drive links, nothing to prove this at all. The one time though, what
Didn't
actually
he
happened?
delete them?
Didn't he delete them? No. Well, I mean, like, sure, but you can still have
Well,
you
even
can still have
about
you would still have the dead
Discord.
links. Yeah, but you would still have the dead links, right? You would still have like the actual link of it, even if you deleted it. She doesn't have any links ever sent to her, like ever. I remember Abby did do something though, where she tried to tell me that she sent me a picture of her at Steven's computer, and maybe there was like a possibility of her going through his computer and looking at all this stuff. But I don't. From what I understand, at least there's been no evidence that she hasn't posted any evidence of her ever receiving. Oh, sorry. She also said Ice Poseidon raped her. I forgot about that too. And that was like totally like that night. That was not at all what happened. Like the way she described it was like, unless something drastically changed, she like had like.
Wait. Go back. Wait, what did she say?
She also, the Abby girl also accused Ice Poseidon of rape because she tried to say that Ice Poseidon like put his fingers in her vagina while they were in the hot tub. But during that night that she came back, she was goading to me like about how Ice Poseidon was engaging with her sexually, and she was like, "I was so happy. I've always wanted to talk. I've always wanted to be sexual with him. I find him so hot."
Wait, can you give me 1 second? My dog is crying. Give me 1 second.
That's okay. I owe you, dude.
Sorry about that.
I owe you, my nigga. Thank you so much. Love you. Also, if you want your own penguin grape cherry shirt, type a 1 in the chat. We're going to be giving away penguin grape cherry t-shirts to all the highest chatters in chat.
Why do you say that?
Penguin grape emoji cherry?
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's call on JCOK mentally raping his ex-girlfriend.
But she stated that she feels sexually degraded when you guys make those comments.
Yeah, but she also did that to like a bunch of other people, so I don't like, you know what I mean? You just said like Stardust, like she can't really talk because like she defends a rapist or whatever.
No, but she's
like,
she's one of his victims though.
But she's now trying to say she's not when she said she was. So she would be one of his victims. I agree with that.
She's Destiny's victim, not J-Stock.
She's Destiny's victim in like a way that's like, I don't know if that's any proof to that. Is there even a police report?
I'm pretty sure there is.
I would say I'm pretty sure there is, but there's like nothing going on there. But like the only thing I know about what?
Those cases don't go anywhere. They don't.
Yeah, no, I could agree they don't go anywhere, but I don't know why you just wouldn't like show it to show that you are pursuing legal action against them. And also, I don't know why you wouldn't join the lawsuit as well. It just doesn't make any fucking logic. Like, dude, here's the thing, man. If this guy is like fucking cooked and he like actually fucked up, like it's like all these things are like join a lawsuit, you know, post hey, you are like, I am serious about doing this. Why let people lie on your name? Like I dude, whenever someone lies on me, I'm like, all right, I need to get receipts, and I do it to my own detriment, unfortunately. But it's like, I don't know why you just wouldn't be like, hey, here's a police report. He did do this. This is what happened. Here you go. But instead, it's like, oh, everyone's making claims and then just running away, and then they're like, stop reading into it. Stop pressing me about it. It's like, bro, you have a guy that's like an influencer online. He streams every day. It's his job. It's how he makes his money. And then you want him not to comment or say anything about it when you just like dipped out. It's like, I feel like it's incredibly fucked up. And I'm not attacking Cherry because she's a victim of Steven. I'm mainly fucking with this just because JSTOK has been a cunt. I don't really like if JSTOK wasn't a cunt and he wasn't like such a piece of shit that snarks, he wouldn't get snarked back. So I understand. I understand. Cherry sent me a message and she actually let me know that like, hey, if you care about me, you wouldn't do this type of stuff. But the reality is I don't care about her.
Why are you still doing it?
Because she spent the last 3 to 4 years harassing other people and then fucking with other people.
Her audio is out there. Her audio is out there.
Honey, I just have I have a reason for Cherry. So I think a lot of people have been mad at Cherry is because for many, many months, she would be on Justical Stream calling people like Ghislaine Maxwell. There's this woman called Not So Erudite. She would call her Ghislaine Maxwell, accusing her of basically supplying Destiny with young girls, which is obviously such an exaggeration. She's just a friend who didn't leave his side and had a business relationship with him and tried to make things right with Pixie. So do you think that's a fair characterization?
What's a fair characterization?
Do you think it's fair for Cherry, because she's incensed with Destiny, to be like his female friend Erudite is Ghislaine Maxwell, like Epstein's right-hand woman?
No, but I don't think that justifies the rape comments that people are making about her and sexually degrading her, which is what she said.
Yeah, and I think
justify it at all.
It might not justify it to you, but to a lot of these people, like for instance, Erudite and Destiny, for them specifically, it's reputation
right?
damage. Sorry?
To you, it justifies it, right?
To me, what is justified? You mean asking Justical about Cherry? that specific thing, that to me does not degrade her, it degrades him.
The rape comments. She
Well,
said, "My ex did not rape me. This is one of the more disgusting ways I've been antagonized over the last 18 months. The efforts over the past several weeks by individuals concerned over the orchestrating conflicts to litigate the sexually degrading lies work to further dehumanize and harass me."
Yeah, and you know she's apt to feel that way, but she didn't feel that way when she was degrading Erudite, calling her Ghislaine Maxwell. She didn't think that when she was helping to degrade Destiny's girlfriend at the time by being on the server. So it's a two-way street now.
Deflecting.
It's not deflecting. I think every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and she got the reaction. Unfortunately,
you think this is the opposite?
Well, yeah. It seems like she was calling people Ghislaine Maxwell. She was calling people. She was saying people deserve to have their porn leaked because they were with Destiny.
That is not.
So I think it's an opposite reaction.
You guys are doing that because of what she's accusing Destiny of. That is why that's happening. It's not because
that is your inference. That is not what I took away. I took it away as she could have filed a report and just been silent, but she decided to sling some mud, and she got some mud slung back.
No.
That's how it works.
People have been telling her to kill herself ever since she accused them.
Yes, people tell me to kill myself all the time too because I'm associated with Destiny, but you endorse that now?
Again, oh my fucking God. She was sexually abused by him. So
yes, but you're okay with people telling people associated with Destiny kill themselves, but anyone who's been a quote unquote victim of Destiny can't be told that.
You're deflecting.
I'm not deflecting. I'm making a comparison because it seems to you that anyone who categorizes themselves as Destiny's victim can't do anything wrong, but like only all of us are doing something wrong, right? That's the problem.
Victims can't do anything, don't do wrong in the way that they react. You're blaming.
Well, we don't know if she's a victim yet. We need to leave that up to the courts of law. Like, according to you, the minute someone declares themselves a victim, they have free pass to do everything. Do you understand how crazy that is? Do you understand that I can call myself your victim right now and do whatever I want with you? Isn't that crazy? Like, shouldn't we leave like a third party to decide whether or not I'm even a victim? Isn't that the normal thing to do? Like, why are you like defending this world where everything is vigilante justice?
The phone was in his pocket. You can hear it in his pocket. You can
but yes, that's your takeaway. I don't know if Cherry consented to it. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I'm willing to let the police report play out. The entire thing here is that you and the snark left at large are very into vigilante justice. And the rest of us are like, wait, maybe we don't know better. So why is your way better? Like, why can't I declare Cherry a victim of Justical, but you can declare Cherry a victim of Destiny? Why is that?
Because the reason why you're saying that, I don't know how to pronounce his name, J-Stock, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the only reason you're saying that is because Cherry's accusing Destiny of rape. That's the only reason you're doing that.
And I could say the other way around, that Justical is only accusing Destiny of things because he's upset. He's upset that he thinks he did something to his girlfriend. Did you know before the Cherry case came out, Justical was totally sweeping for Destiny? He thought he did nothing wrong until the specific Cherry case came out. Does that seem like a very consistent person to you?
But he's not doing, I wouldn't have agreed with that if he was doing that back then, but he's not doing it anymore. And I think that's what matters, the fact that he's not doing it anymore.
Right. So the problem here is that the minute a woman calls herself a victim, or even a man calls himself a victim, they don't have carte blanche to do whatever they want. They are still bound by the same laws as you and me. And the courts can decide whether or not they truly are a victim. What if Destiny is a victim here of blackmail and Pixie never really felt violated? She only decided this was a get-rich-quick scheme. Are you not even open to that possibility? I'm not saying that's what happened, but are you not even open to that possibility? You're giving her carte blanche to do whatever the fuck she wants. That's what I have a problem with in this entire case. I don't have a problem with her filing a suit. I have a problem with people like you being like, she can do anything she wants. She can make Rose's life hell. Do you understand the Rose story where
if it was only one woman,
if there's a certain threshold, I reject that. All do whatever the fuck they want. They can call Ghislaine Maxwell a lovely person like Kyla, like a lovely person who actually tried to help people in this thing. She might not have done everything perfectly, but she was definitely trying to help. But she doesn't deserve to be called Ghislaine Maxwell, I don't think.
Again, but there's multiple women. I think now she fucking deserves it. And I would say the same thing about you, since you're
Like we deserve to be called Ghislaine Maxwell as a result of being friends with someone. Do you understand what Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of? She was accused of supplying women.
It's because you're defending him. It's because you're defending him.
Yes, but that's what Ghislaine Maxwell did. She didn't just defend. She supplied women. She supplied underage women. You're okay with that?
It's also the fact that you're justifying people making the grape comments about Sherry. That's why I think you do deserve to be called names. You do.
The target of that is Justical. The target of those insults are Justical, not Sherry. Because he has famously said that mentally ill women cannot consent. He has said mentally ill women, and he committed her to an institution, which means he doesn't believe she's mentally stable. And he still said
she said she feels sexually degraded by those comments. She said that.
Yeah, and that's her right to feel that way. That's her right to feel that way. But she, for a really long time, she made very degrading comments about a lot of women in Destiny's life too. And I have not seen her make amends for that properly unless she's forced to. And so I don't know what I'm supposed to do for her. Like, I'm glad she's left the space and she doesn't have to hear them anymore.
You see, that's your reasoning, but you are justifying it. You get it, right?
Would you be friends with Bada Empanada or Hassan?
Again,
would you be friends with Bada Empanada?
If they had accusations, multiple women, I would not. If they had both of them, if they had accusations of multiple women,
okay with being Hassan, knowing that he is showing people unsolicited quote unquote stuff from Snapchat of possibly underage people.
After I just saw this screenshot, I wouldn't. And again,
now you wouldn't. Now you think what he did was disgusting.
No. Dude, I just saw this. You asked me, hey, now that you see this, what do you think? And I'm giving you the answer. What do you mean now? You think no? What do you mean? I wouldn't be friends with him because of the Amber Heard thing. I told you that.
Yes, but also for the sharing of the nudes. No, for both things.
Now that I'm reading this, that he did ask people for nudes, I wouldn't be friends with him. I wouldn't be friends with him. I would never be friends with him. Period.
Okay, that does make sense to me, but what's weird to me is that you come to these conclusions after being dragged through the mud. Like, after I drag you through the mud, you're like, all right, fine, I won't be friends with him. But your expectation for every other woman around Destiny is to totally like disregard everything else and to say, oh, the victims. And you know what? Like, all of us are waiting for things to play out. I personally have never said anything about Cherry. I've never said anything about Cherry. No. Destiny has a right to.
You did say something about Cherry just now. You just said that she deserves the great comments
I think that she acted recklessly by talking about women in Destiny's life. Yes, I don't think she deserves to be told every single day to kill herself. Definitely not. Or rape threats, for sure. No.
But she deserves to be mocked.
Who? Cherry?
Yes.
Deserves to be mocked. What do you mean by that? Like, does Justical get a free pass because Cherry is uncomfortable with what happened between them? No, he does not. No, he does not. He can be told like he did something fucked up to Cherry, which I agree with. He did do something fucked up to Cherry. I do think that there's more in there that they're not talking about. They have an incentive to not talk about.
No. We're not. I don't give a fuck about the other people. I'm talking about the victims. So that's what I'm talking about.
Decide who's a victim and who's not. According to me, to some extent, at least, Destiny's also a victim in this, for sure. Because he did not want the leaks to happen. He thinks he's been blackmailed. I know you don't think that. I know you don't care about blackmail. You think that women should take all these weird paths because the law is against us and we are allowed to blackmail. I don't believe in that. So to me, he's also a victim. I do think Pixie's a victim as well, but not of Destiny necessarily, of that solo guy who did the entire leak in the first place, as well as all the people in Spicy Chat who called her all kinds of names, forcing her to take extra actions.
Okay, so there are two events that happened. One, Destiny shared the nudes to another party, and then two, it got leaked.
Sex tapes, not
Destiny. Destiny.
I understand you guys keep saying FMJ. I'll deal with it later.
One of the events. He's not a victim of the other. Pixie is a victim of both. She's a victim of what Destiny did to her. 100%.
The first event, we're not even sure if she was not okay with him sending the sex videos to other people. I'm not entirely sure of that. That's what they're discussing in the courts.
FMJ,
how can I convey this to you? Like, you don't know for sure. Because to me, the entire thing itself is so unusual. Like, I have never made a sex tape and sent it to someone's wife.
Let me talk about this.
I have never sanctioned that. So I don't know. I don't know what they discussed. I'm okay with them battling it out amongst themselves. They can shout at each other. My problem is with this entire crew, Justical, Sabersexual, the guy who emailed Rose so many times, all these people being so confident in the outcome of the court case that they are taking the law into their own hands. I find that whack. I find that specifically whack. And until you can
Whenever I
tell
get
me
out of
why
the
that's
house
okay,
and I move the stuff to my car so I
why
can
you
start
think that
driving,
this sort of vigilante justice is okay?
We'll
Because
do
the
that.
problem is anyone can make a rape accusation against you even. Like, aren't you afraid of that day that might happen?
So, what again? Going back to what I was saying, Destiny has many people accusing him. There's Stasia too, Abby, and you're gonna find.
And I welcome them to file cases. They should.
It's the same thing as telling a woman, "Oh, why didn't you go to the police?" Or "You should go to the police." If you don't go to the police, your case is not valid.
I actually no, that's not what I'm saying at all. I think if they don't want to go to the police, if there's like some sort of problem with going to the police, then they have to write something out. I don't even know what they're accused. I don't know what Stasia's discussion with Destiny was. All I know is that she sits on a Discord all day implying things. If she wants to make her accusations clear, I'd love to hear it. The problem I have with all these people is that they love just stirring the pot, but they're not doing anything that's going to get them an actual result. That's my issue. But they love like making fun of women associated with Destiny. They think that harassment of any woman associated with him, or any man even associated with him, getting into DMs, being like, "How dare you be friends with him?" They think that's acceptable behavior. Instead of that, make your life more useful, make your time more useful, and actually go to the police, file a report. I'm fine with that. No one is telling them not to file an actual report. Why are you so confident that the police is not going to aid them? That's what I want to know.
The police doesn't aid a lot of women. I do think women should go to the police, but I'm saying when there's a victim who doesn't go, you shouldn't make the comments that you're making right now.
No, that's not. So that's not what I'm saying at all. I think they have an option.
I mean, you have negative stuff to say about Stasia.
I do have negative things to say about her because I need her to actually file a report or do something as opposed to implying things. No one understands what she's implying half the time. I'm sorry. She needs to get more articulate if she wants to do this. Write a report, write something about what happened to you, because as far as I know, she was kikiing with Destiny for months after the accusation dropped. She was friends with them for 2 months. I've seen the text messages between them. So I don't understand what happened. She can't have it both ways. So all I'm saying is either don't talk about women associated with Destiny, A, or B, go to the police. You can't have it both ways, in my opinion.
It's normal for women to not to defend their abusers in the beginning. I shouldn't use the word abuser, but the perpetrator. It's normal for women to defend them at first, be friendly with them, or justify it sometime. And it's normal.
Honey, let's just be.
You don't think women can do anything wrong. That's my issue here. You're not picking out any behavior from that side. I don't mean from like Stardust and my side. You're not picking out any behavior that you have a problem with. You're saying blackmail is fair game. You're saying anything, withholding things from the police is fair game. Like, would you be pro Pixie for justice, honey? For justice, honey, would you be pro Pixie making up a piece of evidence in order to nail this motherfucker, or no?
What I'm saying is that women, after getting sexually abused, you don't act like a rational person. You're saying what they should do.
Yes, but you can't get carte blanche indefinitely. I understand that there could be a shock response initially, but it's been years. That at a certain point, you got to take responsibility for yourself, honey.
It's normal for someone who has gone through that to want revenge against them. It's normal.
It's normal for people to want to get revenge after something like this.
No,
you know what? I might say yes, but it's not normal to sanction blackmail. It's not normal to be like, oh, anything that they do is fine. So I asked you a point blank question. Would you be pro Pixie making up evidence in order to nail Destiny because she's so sure that he did something wrong?
I as a misandrist, I would 100% yes.
You would be okay with her manufacturing like a text message or something like that would nail him because she doesn't have enough evidence, and as a misandrist, you think that that's okay to do. Hi, honey. Yep, I can hear you.
So what I was saying, if I'm talking about me specifically, what I had gone through,
Worst
if
time
I
ever.
knew I could nail the guy by I don't know, fabricating something. Well, I'm telling you what I would do. Honestly, I would do it. I would do it.
Okay. And
Well,
but you'd also be okay with Pixie doing it. Like if you heard she did it, you would be okay with it.
Well, I believe her story, so. But again,
Okay, so
I don't
we're
like
kind of at an impasse. We just have a completely different worldview.
No, but you see, but it's playing into what I think Destiny would want. So I don't really like to play into this because I do believe her story. I do believe her story. And he said right here, I wanted to read this to you because you did sort of misinterpreted what just came out today. The witness said, is Pixie okay? Have you spoken to her? I'm assuming she's okay. She's okay, you sharing videos of her like that. And he said, oh no, LOL. I seriously doubt it. We took some videos, but didn't discuss it. I doubt she's okay with it.
Yeah. So that I took it as when he said we didn't discuss it, I think he meant the leaks. We didn't discuss the leaks. And I think she's not okay with it, meaning she's not okay with the leaks. But you can interpret it the other way. I understand what you're interpreting it as, but I don't think he would talk about consent with Orlando personally.
So there's no evidence. There is no evidence that would matter to you.
No, if I see a text message between Pixie and Destiny saying something like, don't send the videos to anyone apart from Melina or something like that, that is to me a slam dunk piece of evidence. This can be supporting evidence. If I see other things that corroborate it, yeah, I'll admit it. But in this case, this is not the slam dunk that everyone else wants it to be. You know, unfortunately, it's just not. He can submit it, like he can like try to refute it. I don't think it's a slam dunk piece of evidence. I think if the statutes don't match, unfortunately, this case will get dismissed. Unfortunately, you know, they're not going to look at the evidence even. So yeah, that's how things shake out sometimes.
I see that you are manipulating a lot of the stuff that I showed you, like those words. You see it in a different way, right?
I do. I see it in a different way, but I understand how you're interpreting it.
For me, I wouldn't be friends with someone like Hassan. I'm not gonna lie. I do have a soft spot for him because I learned a lot from him watching him like years ago. I stopped watching him during the Amber Heard trial. And I think a lot of the criticisms he gets online, I think they're fucking stupid. But anything regarding women, for me, that is such a strong thing that I just draw a hard line. I draw a hard line on that. So I just don't, again, I'm saying it again, I don't understand how you don't have that line for Destiny.
Right. So for me, I'm obviously a very law-abiding person, which is something we've just discovered that you're not, which is you're right. I think that you're someone who just does not believe in the criminal justice system. So for me, I'm willing to let things play out in the criminal justice system. That is the difference. That is a very simple difference between us.
It's not that. It's not just that. It's the morality of it. It's not. Let's talk. Okay, let's put the accusations aside. He's been attacking every single fucking victim, all of them.
Yes, because he doesn't see them as victims. That's the problem. We don't know who's a victim yet. That is the entire issue. That's what they're adjudicating. If they were for sure victims, then there wouldn't be a need for a court case.
So they make accusations, and you don't think it's weird that he's attacking them?
I don't think it's weird to attack your accuser. No, I think if you called me something, if you accuse me of doing something, I'm going to use every piece of ammo I have against you, and I'd be very good at it. But I think the standard of, like someone gets accused and they can't say anything back, I think that's a little crazy. Yeah, I do. Go ahead.
Do you think there's a possibility that Pixie did not consent to that and there was a misunderstanding?
I have always thought that there is a misunderstanding between the two of them. This is my impression, and I'll give it to you right now. I'll give you my impression. I think that she really thought that she wanted like a limited number of people to receive this video, including Melina and perhaps his next wife or his next long-term girlfriend. But I don't know if that was his understanding of their arrangement. That's why I believe in things like NDAs. If you're going to be so maximalist, degenerate like this, that's my personal view. I think that they should have gotten an NDA, but they didn't get one. So I don't know what to do now. It seems like they have a misunderstanding on who they could distribute it to. And it's very, very risky.
So you see how it doesn't matter. Really, the intent doesn't matter. It's the act. It's what happened. The result. That's the
I
only
think the
thing
result,
that matters.
yeah.
I'll
I
give
think
you.
if people,
I'll give you an
if people
example.
understood that he owes her money, and he did agree with it. If you've seen his text messages, he did agree that because she was damaged as a result of his action, whether or not he intended it, whether or not he believed that he had a right to send the video, he has offered to give her money and things like that. His problem is specifically with the Substack. The Substack also alleges that he wanted all of this to happen on purpose. The final paragraph of that Substack says something like, I think he might have wanted this to happen on purpose. Like he does these things so that it leaks. I think that was something that was such big reputational damage that there was no going back and negotiating after that. But he was very open to negotiations. And I'm pretty sure his own friends told Pixie that they would hook her up with a lawyer. So this idea that you know, he never thought something wrong happened is totally untrue. It is all in the context of that damaging Substack, which is totally reputationally damaging.
I'm sorry. I was like looking for something. I lost track in the last thing that you said because I was like looking for something.
Gotcha. So I said that the Substack alleges that Destiny did all of this on purpose, that he sent the sex tape hoping that it would leak eventually. And that is a reputation damaging statement, according to me. That is something that you cannot come back from.
But you do see how he was being very negligent, right?
Yes, but that doesn't mean that he puts things out there hoping that it leaks. Like if you want to call something negligent, unfortunately, we'll also have to call Pixie negligent. And I hate to do that. I don't want to call either of them negligent.
But
Sorry?
he was the one who did something. He was the one who did something.
Actually, no. If Pixie had sent it to her boyfriend, I don't know if her boyfriend has anger issues. It could have leaked from the boyfriend. Melina, Destiny's wife, could have leaked it. It could have leaked in so many ways. It's just a very unusual sexual situation. We have to cop to that. It is unusual. Now, it did leak from a third party named Rose, who turned out to be a man named Solo. Yes, it's a very, very unusual, convoluted situation. But again, I don't want to call this like them doing something malicious or them doing something so reckless that their entire lives need to go, both of them. I think what probably should have been done is a case should have been brought and they should have reached a settlement. He would have paid her some money. But instead, she inflicted so much reputational damage on him through the Substack that he has no choice but to go full court press and like really go for it with this lawsuit.
Also the attacks too against her.
Yes. So the problem with all of this is that I verbally attack people all the time for much less. Like if someone calls me a whore, it's done. Like I call them a whore back. I relentlessly call them a whore. So this idea that people can't attack people who are attacking them first, I think is ridiculous.
No,
her stuff about him is much worse than his stuff about her, I think.
No, but we're talking about someone who's accusing Destiny of sharing her nudes non-consensually. She states that she only gave him permission to send it to Melina.
Yes.
Close sex partners, but not freaking a stranger that he sent it to. Or not a stranger. So
can you tell me the exact time someone becomes a friend from a stranger?
It's not 2 weeks. It's not 3 weeks. It's not a month.
Okay. So you have never called someone a friend after 2 weeks of knowing them. I've certainly known people who've gotten married in that time.
Okay. But you don't send news to someone you've known for 2 weeks. I don't know how long you've known her for.
That's my personal standard, though. I don't apply my personal sexual standards to other people.
Again, but do you see what you're doing right now? You're not.
I'm aware of what I'm doing. What's your characterization of what I'm doing?
I think you're fucking sweeping for him and ignoring that he sent it to someone that he barely knew.
I think this whole barely knew thing is something that I just don't agree with. I think sending it to someone who's volatile is much worse. Like, let's say I have a boyfriend, but I know he's fucking volatile, but I've known him for 3 years. What if I send it to him?
But you see, but we're talking about someone he knew for how long did he know her for?
I don't know. I guess 10 days, 20 days. I don't know. It's a short amount of time. I'll call it short. Sure.
Was it 10 days or was it 20 days?
I think it's closer to 10 than 20. I don't know the exact number of days.
That's okay. Don't you see how fucking terrible that is? To send someone nudes?
So hold on. Pixie barely knew Destiny when she made the sex tape with him. Okay, if you really want to be judgy here, she barely knew him.
No. You see, oh my God, it's not the fucking same thing. It's not the same thing at all.
I don't know.
It's
See,
not.
if you want to talk about how retarded they were in these decisions
It's not
compared to the average person,
She was fucking
listen to me,
20.
honey.
How old was she? How old was she?
Let's
How
lay
old was
the
she?
framework
How
of
old was
what
she? How
normal
old was she?
couples do.
How old was Pixie? How old was Pixie? How old was
21?
Pixie when those videos were made? She was
21, I believe.
I heard she was 20. I heard she was 20, but
Sure, 20,
again,
21. It
okay.
doesn't make too much of a difference. All right,
so
go ahead.
I didn't say 21.
Okay.
Freaking dogs.
So you're hung up on whether she was 20 or 21. That doesn't make too much of a difference for me. Yeah, I think her birthday was around when they might have gotten together. I'm not entirely sure, but either 20 or 21. She wasn't 19 or whatever she put in the Substack.
Sorry, wait. Give me 1 second. I'm moving my dogs to the other room.
Sure.
Just 1 second.
So I went to go read it because I'm like, oh, what did they were talking about the new court filing today? And I realized they were talking about this the thing where
yeah, I saw it. It says something like he was talking to a friend, and he said to the friend that, "Oh, I don't think so." Then he says, "We didn't discuss it," and everyone thinks. Some people think
we took some vids, but didn't discuss it. I doubt she's okay with it. I mean, like if you understand the situation and what they've already said, this like doesn't sound crazy. Like when you say, "Who was the friend?" Who was the friend? I don't know.
I have not spoken to Steven about this yet. But either way, to me, my interpretation was that she's not okay with it, as in the leaks, and they didn't discuss it. As Pixie and him didn't discuss the leaks yet, I think.
Yeah, okay, well,
I don't think he's stupid enough to talk about consent with a rando.
I can like talk for like 10 more minutes, but I really have to clean that.
Yeah. I just have like just a final thing. So on talking about the reckless
I have a final thing to say too.
Yeah, I know. That's great. And we'll give you the last word. So basically on the recklessness thing, I think one of the problems with this case is that a lot of people had a disgust response when they heard about the videos being shared at all. But I think you can agree here that it is a very unusual case because most women do not make sex tapes with men that they barely know, and they don't really agree to distribute it. And I'm not judging Pixie for that. I think that if someone has a kink like that, that's fine. I am sometimes befuddled by a lot of kinks that I see on the internet. It's not for me to judge as long as they're comfortable with it. But when people talk about recklessness, the problem is that for most revenge porn stuff, it's usually done by the ex-boyfriend. It's usually ex-boyfriends who you've known for a really long time, who you've been in multi-year relationships with. They're the ones who do these leaks. So I don't agree with this idea that, oh, he knew Rose for a couple of weeks, therefore the risk was a lot higher. I think the risk is a lot higher when it's a man, when it's an abusive man, and when it's a man who has anger management issues. That's when your chances of leaks are a lot higher. And I don't think Destiny thought of like the woman he was sexting with as like this true leak risk, unfortunately. Perhaps he should have. You can say he shoulda, woulda, coulda, but that's where we stand now, and that's my take on it.
They both could have been high, right? And then like an ex or a stranger, they both could be high. I'm not gonna compare them. I reject the idea. They both could have been high.
They both could have been high, as in like they both could have been completely out of their minds?
Probability that it would be leaked.
Yes. I mean, they both sort of indulged in a kind of risky action here, but I don't really know if their discussions on it were as clean as everyone wants it to be. I don't know if Pixie said to him, do not send it to anyone apart from Melina, or not to trusted partners or something like that. I don't know what the language was because both of them don't have a text containing that language. We have to go by what they say.
They were DMing when they were messaging on Discord, I think. Pixie said that she was wondering, how did Lav know that they were like, had a thing, and he didn't say anything.
Yes, but this person that he sent the sex tape to was not in the Lav universe. I don't think Lav knows Rose. So why would he think of the sex tape?
I'm talking about Pixie.
Yes, I understand. But why would Lav know something that he sent to Rose?
No, I'm like, that's what I'm wondering. Why would she know?
I don't believe she got sent any sex tapes from him. Like, you can ask Destiny directly if he ever comes on. I don't think he will.
She didn't. No, I'm saying he told her that they were like hooking up. Obviously, you get what I'm trying to say, right?
She said that he told her that. Okay, so I don't know if you know Lav's history. I personally don't know too much about Lav,
Okay.
but from what I've been told, she's not the most
Don't-
credible person,
okay,
and
okay,
I
wait.
judge everyone based on their credibility. So she doesn't have a lot of
Okay, wait,
credibility.
wait. I
She's
don't
made a
want-
lot
I
of
don't wanna
shit
go-
against
I don't-
Hassan
I don't.
as well.
I've heard. I've had my spats with her. I'm saying Pixie was wondering, hey, how could she have known? And when she asked him that, he could have told her, hey, I am sending nudes to other people, right?
So could you repeat that? I don't understand what you're getting at.
When Pixie asked Destiny, hey, how could she have known that? Destiny never told her, hey, I'm sending your nudes to other people.
I don't understand why you would
I feel
want
like
that. Why
like
you would
that is-
expect that in a text message about an unrelated thing. So she's asking,
I mean,
how would Lav know?
How are people knowing this?
Yes, but that does not pertain to the sex tape that he sent to Rose. Like Rose is not from this universe at all, from the
sending it
DGG
to
verse.
other people, but sending it to other people.
Yes, but I don't believe he sent it to anyone in their common circle. That has never come out. That he sent.
Abby says she's seen it.
Yes, but I don't believe she was in his immediate circle. She says she's seen it, and I personally have never seen evidence of that. But if she's seen it, I don't know. Let's see what happens in the court case. Destiny has said that he has never sent it to Abby, and he's confident about that. So yeah, they can see how it plays out.
So you don't.
Again, it's a he said, she said. It's a very classic he said, she said. That's why I don't understand the need to jump the gun.
So,
but yeah, no. As I was saying with the, it seems like you could. What's his name? FMJ was trying to say he was lying. They had the whole conversation I've heard of is that they had implied consent. So it doesn't sound like they completely discussed. Like if you have implied consent, that already thing there isn't saying that you had a discussion, like where you set rules and boundaries. Sounds like you guys had a general consensus off of just like based like meaningless conversations that were just like.
I think they probably discussed it a little bit, but they don't remember the exact like rules that they set out, which I think is normal. Yeah. Yeah.
I took some vids but didn't discuss it. I doubt she's okay with it. Like you said, he's trying to say that he lied and said that they did this. They did have consent. And like he like completely like I don't think Steven ever said like we sat there and we talked about it.
Look, Darius, if they didn't discuss it, Pixie is in big trouble. You know why, right? Because she sent it to her boyfriend.
Oh yeah, true. So obviously there was something
if they didn't discuss
like
it, she's fucked just as much as him.
So there's obviously something that was mentioned. Yeah, like with what he said and what she's already said she's done. And if we've already seen logs of what she did, obviously there was some conversation that was happening, but it wasn't like a discussion. Like if I sit you down for a discussion, that's different than we're just like talking, like or just like chatting. Like it's like
and also if you really want to interpret it charitably, if you really wanted to I don't know what the message is about, but we didn't discuss it could also mean that they didn't discuss the leaks. They're discussing something that just happened, right? An event that just happened, which is the leaks.
Well, I'm just right now pretending that he's talking specifically about that because that's also another reality where he's saying we didn't discuss it, like meaning the leaks. Because this is literally immediately after the solo leaks. It's like in the message it says it. It's like
there's a lot of pieces of evidence that could be slam dunk, but this isn't it because if they didn't discuss it, then why was she sending it to her boyfriend? They must have had some discussion.
And also, let's be like real, dude. Like we're at like it's 2 days, a day, 24 hours before the court case, and this is dead ass. What we're saying is like the proof that this nigga knew he was sharing unconsensual videos. This is what we have now. Like, are we being like? I don't want to be like. I'm not like come on, dog. Like it's like.
Yeah,
that's not even new information. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, like what the fuck? Like they obviously we already knew they didn't have a clear and concise conversation about consent. Like they were like, oh, let's fucking talk about. So who exactly? Okay, even then, it sounds like they had an understanding of who because she was sending it to her boyfriend. So they had seems like they had an understanding of who.
Yeah, it seems like they did know like what sort of person they should send it to, but they possibly disagreed eventually. But I don't really know. But they definitely did have some kind of discussion because she wouldn't have sent it to her boyfriend, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
No, oh no. I've actually said this before, but like, when she says that I am the snark left, I am of the snark left, I'm like, girl, thank you. Oh my God, thank you for saying that. Because you haven't. Yeah, go ahead.
I had a suspicion because I know the snark left, the minute they see someone who's very, very active, they have the tendency to invite them. But I'm
Mhm.
surprised that she said that she was part of them. And I think it's interesting that someone who said that they were the snark left has now also said that they are willing to make up evidence. They don't care about blackmail. And anyone who's categorized as a victim has carte blanche to do everything um, that they need to do to get someone in jail. I think that's a very interesting admission. And I don't really know if everyone's on the same page on the snark left, but I think they might be.
I actually think that because she doesn't waste time saying that she is a part of the snark left, you can
Mhm.
actually unironically get to the more interesting conversations. Like I'm saying stuff that is more philosophical, stuff that is more political even, right? Like, oh, do you not trust the court system? Okay, what do you propose as an alternative? And or you can say like, okay, why do you think making up allegations is a morally right thing to do, right? Or what kind of society do you envision if you want this to be the norm for how to handle allegations of men and Pixie, right? Like these are
Yeah.
much more interesting.
Yeah, that's true. I think, yeah, a lot of them just don't admit it. And most people don't really want to talk about the nuances of the Pixie case. It's not very
Mhm.
cut and dry. I did say something on the call. I did say that if she hadn't written the Substack, I think there's a world where a good settlement could have been reached. And I do actually believe that. I truly do believe that. Like, if the Substack wasn't there, perhaps something more amicable could be reached. But because the Substack is so reputationally damaging, that there's no coming back from it, unfortunately.
Okay, have you ever asked her whether or not she knows that Pixie literally confessed to lying about the suicidality?
I actually didn't know that myself. Where did she confess to lying about it?
So in Present Sunday's video, the
Uh-huh.
one that basically nuked Steven's entire orbit, in
Mhm.
that video, Present Sunday actually makes the correct claim that
Mhm.
Pixie is actually extorting Destiny.
Sure. I've
And
seen all
the
that. I want to know where she said
yeah,
that she lied about the
in Straight
suicide.
Away's DMs, in Straight Away's DMs, in Straight
She
Away's
said, I
DMs.
lied about the suicide, or I'm not going to
No, no, no,
really
no,
do it.
no,
I don't
no, no,
recall
no,
that.
no. She said, no, no. Straight Raid was basically being like, I'm trying to recall off the top of my head. Okay, Straight Raid basically says something like, "Are you gonna be okay? Are you gonna like? Is it because I saw stuff about you being suicidal or whatever? I just like need to make sure you're okay." And then I think Pixie was like, "No, don't worry. I'm not actually gonna do anything. I only did it to get Steven's attention." And it's like,
Okay, I'll have to go review
yeah,
that because I do remember something like it that she said to Steven as well, which was
yeah,
something like, I'm not, or to Erudite, one of
mm-hmm,
them. She said something
mm-hmm,
like, I'm not going to kill myself right away because it's the holidays and I don't want to traumatize my friends. So she was basically saying she was suicidal, but not to worry for the holidays. So she was giving them time to basically um, make amends in some way or to offer her money or whatever. So that
yeah,
itself is
yeah,
suspicious by itself, but I wouldn't call it a slam dunk admission. We're never going to get slam dunk admissions in these cases. Most
mm-hmm.
people are not fully retarded to give their true intentions. But I
No,
do
no,
know
no.
that in
Mm-hmm.
Discovery there are no Pixie Straight DMs. I do know that,
Oh,
which I think was a miss.
oh,
It would have been good to
oh.
have that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm actually confused why that wasn't in Discovery. Maybe it was like a misstep or something, like a genuine misstep. Because when like again, it was in Present Sunday's video. Like it was right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
know. I have
can
seen the
yeah.
the DMs that are, I think, out there
Mhm.
publicly are all part of it, but I
Mhm.
don't know if anything was requested. And we probably shouldn't discuss this too hard, but I don't know if anything was requested from Straight Array directly or from Pixie directly pertaining to her
Mhm.
messages with Straight Array. Actually, no, that did happen. They did ask Pixie for messages with Straight Array, and she only
Mhm.
revealed two or three and said that the rest were either not there or they never were
Of
there or something like
course.
that.
Of course. Like well,
Yeah,
what else am I
Discovery just
expecting
relies
from
on
someone?
you
Oh
being
my god.
with the shit you submit. That's what Discovery relies on. They're not going to seize your laptop or your devices and be
No.
like, "Oh, let me look through and find everything that I need."
Mhm.
They depend on you to submit everything. So now this new revelation they have today. Did you see
Mhm.
today's filing?
So basically, the way that I see it is that because they are unable to get enough people to come forward to support the case, because the entire time they were essentially trying to fish for more evidence because they never had it originally. It just
Mm.
seems as though that primarily Joan of Snark, that's why I'm calling her Joan of Snark, would is complaining about how Andrew Brettler will not give up any information, even though from Steven's side, they have already given up a lot of information. And from Pixie's side, they have given up basically none. And not only have they not proven, still haven't proven subject matter jurisdiction, but in addition, they have also just not fucking done anything, to be honest. Like, I'm gonna be totally real. And not only that, it looks like they're also doubling down the Jesus Pena claims as well for the forensics shit, which is like fucking bullshit. Anyway, it's just a bunch of bullshit. And it's just like nothing. It's just fucking nothing.
Yeah,
Okay.
but also, but
Mhm.
also, like, what do you think the new text message released today, the new Discord message released today, what do you think it's saying? It's obviously not a slam dunk. There's no such
It's
thing as a slam dunk
not.
in cases like these.
No. And also, by the way, like another question I would like to ask is this, okay? For anybody who is actually trying to be good faith out there, ask yourself this: if they had something like this, why wouldn't they reveal this at the beginning? Why at the end? Okay, right? Yeah, exactly. It's like when we are so many months in, like, why not? Like, okay. Anyway, okay, hold on. Let me try to find it. Another question I would have is, where the fuck did Witness C pop into existence? Okay, what the fuck is Witness C? You're gonna pretend that there's like 100 like fucking hiding women in order to like testify against Steven? Even now, you're gonna call them Witness A, B, and C, and that is separate from Abby MC? Dude, give me a break, bro. And not only that, Jung of Snark also says like, oh yeah, Witness C is like indistinguishable from Abby MC's claims. Basically, they're saying Abby MC will not actually help our court case because she cannot like function. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay, and because in order to make up for Abby MC's absence, we're gonna make up this so-called Witness C instead to like represent Abby's side. It's so fucking retarded. Anyway, like that's my interpretation at the very least. Okay, hold on, give me a second. Okay, right. Second, so this is from Jung Snark, okay? So second, on November 29, 2024, immediately after the solo leaks, defendant exchanged messages with an individual named Blank. Blank wrote, "Is Pixie okay? Have you spoken to her? I'm assuming she okayed you sharing videos of her like that." Defendant responded, "Oh no, lol, I seriously doubt it. We took some vids, but didn't discuss it. I doubt she's okay with it." This exchange is responsive to plaintiff's request, bears directly on the issue of consent, and has never been produced. Defendant authored and possessed these communications at all relevant times. His failure to produce them cannot be characterized as inadvertent. Basically, I think I remember saying at the time, like this could be referring to, like I was trying to guess who Blank was. Okay, I think Blank might. Maybe I don't think I believe this anymore, but I think at the time I said that like maybe this is Pixie's ex-boyfriend.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
I don't think
Blank.
that's
Yeah, who
worth
the Blank is.
speculating. My idea is that it could be like a man or woman who Destiny sort of knows for a little while. It's probably someone that he knows. But I'm asking you for your interpretation of his words, and I'll give you my interpretations. My two interpretations are the first interpretation, and without any bias, it could be that he's literally talking about we didn't discuss it, as in we didn't discuss transmitting the videos to various people.
Oh, okay. I see, yeah.
If that happened, that means Pixie also did not have permission to send to her boyfriend. If they literally were like, "Oh, let's make a video," they make the video and they literally had no discussion about it, as his text is saying. If we want to interpret it that way, that means that Pixie also did not get any discussion or any permission structure on what she should do with the videos. So she's fucked just as much as him. But my second interpretation, which I think is way more likely, because I don't know who he's talking to here, but my second interpretation is that when he says we didn't discuss it, the it in question is the leaks, not the consent of the tapes or the nature of the transmission. I think he's saying we didn't discuss it, as in the leaks. I don't think she's okay with it, but we didn't discuss it. Yeah. So yeah, that's my interpretation. I'd have to see context around the singular text. I don't think we're gonna
The
get that
conversation,
context.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, because what if someone else says, "Oh, did you get consent?" What if the next question is, "Did you get consent?" And he literally says yes or no. Like, there's so many things that
Okay.
can be around this conversation. So yeah, whenever these people are interpreting these conversations, they interpret it like a child who just sees something, they let their bias cover the world, and they interpret it in that way. Whereas I can interpret it in like 10 different ways. Like, it's almost like reading a piece of literature or something to me. But they don't have that curiosity. They go in determined to be incurious about what's actually happening. And it's really unfortunate to see.
Okay. I just remember what I originally said, and it is relevant
Mhm.
to what you just said, okay? So let's just say it was actually talking about the news, okay? Well, then you can say he was reckless and you can say that he was stupid, but you cannot say that he was malicious, right? Because
Yeah,
that
but
to
that's what everyone
me,
agrees that
that's
he's
not
not
evidence of
malicious, by the way.
malice. Yeah, yeah, no, but that's the issue, right? Because the way that the snarkers have been covering it is that he is malicious, and the way that the consent laws, right, are put into motion, the revenge porn laws, the reason why they're put into motion, like why they are legislation in the first place, is because there are ex-boyfriends out there who are crazy enough to spread revenge porn because they
They
hate
are.
their ex so much. Right.
Yeah,
So this is not describe Steven. It just straight up does not describe Steven. Okay, so
that's true.
in my opinion, not only does Cardi not apply to Steven, because again, you have to prove subject matter jurisdiction, the law most likely, almost certainly, actually, you know what? 99.99%, the law was made, put into effect before all this after, sorry, I misspoke. Oh my god, dude. After all this happened, right, in October, November-ish, right, but all this shit happened, I remember, in April or something of that same year. So again, you cannot be held guilty, in my opinion, like from that, unless the law specifically has like a addendum where it says something like, okay, well, within the last year, if somebody committed like a crime related to this thing, okay, you can actually hold them responsible. Unless someone can show me that, how that falls under subject matter jurisdiction, that's what that means. Because you cannot hold Stephen accountable for a law that does not exist yet at the time of the so-called violation, right? Like,
That's true, but a lot of
oh,
people, hold on.
fuck
So a lot
me,
of
dude.
people deviate here because they say something like, just because the statute was put into place on a certain date doesn't mean that he deserves to go scot-free, because in
Yeah.
their minds the statute reflects something
Hmm.
important about our society. That's what they
Hmm.
think. So
Hmm.
I never argue when I'm arguing for Stephen's case. I actually never bring up the statute dates. That's my personal preference, though, because the
Hmm.
statute dates are quite irrelevant to me. I do understand. I
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
believe that Pixie's court case does not fall into the statute dates being in effect,
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
never bring it up because to me that doesn't matter. To me, even if this does proceed to trial, and if they've decided that it fits into the statute dates as whenever they were in effect, that's fine with
Hmm.
me because I still think Stephen should be able to win on the evidence alone. I do
I
think
agree.
that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. Okay, just to be very clear, I do actually. I think I also said this previously during the commentary, but I separate legal analysis and moral analysis, right? Like what
Hmm.
I'm talking about here is legal because, by the way, it's fine. Okay, because here's the thing. I can fully agree that, okay, well, maybe you don't agree with one aspect or another. Okay, then the question becomes, is the way that Stephen is being treated right now online, because now we're talking about the moral aspect, is the way that he's
Hmm.
being treated right now online proportional to what he seems to actually be guilty of, right? It seems like
Right.
what he is guilty of is being a fucking retard, okay? So
Hmm.
if he is guilty of being a Coomer retard, it does not justify swatting him or his son. It doesn't justify the stalking. It doesn't justify the crazy behaviors that's been happening behind the scenes. It doesn't justify cybersexual contacting Rose. It doesn't
Yeah.
justify Solo getting away scot-free. It doesn't justify, like, there's so many things
He
that
doesn't
are
justify
not
trying to
even,
alienate him from all of
yeah,
his friends, all of his colleagues, making his
that's
life
right.
really, really
Yep,
hard,
exactly. Hmm.
all that stuff. Yeah,
Hmm.
it doesn't
Yeah,
warrant all of that. So
yeah,
that's what
exactly.
makes me suspicious of people like the
Hmm.
snark left, especially
Yeah.
when you view the context of how they were talking about Pixie right after the
Hmm.
leaks in Spicy Chat and other places like that,
Hmm.
where they were rating how she gave a blowjob or they were really
Hmm.
trying to humiliate her sexually.
Hmm.
So I think
Yeah.
with all that context, we know that these are people with nefarious intentions and they should
Hmm.
not be supported by anyone.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
One of the things that came up today too was also about
Hmm.
how hard we can go on Cherry. And I think the only reason people are going so hard on Gisticle, they're not even going hard on Cherry. They're saying things like
Yeah,
Gisticle raped Cherry.
yeah,
That's something I
yeah.
personally don't push as much, but if other people are doing it, because he has said that he does not believe consent can be granted to people if they are mentally unstable.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's the
Yep.
hypocrisy that's being pointed out.
Exactly.
And I
Yep.
don't think they're humiliating her. I think she's fine. But
Exactly.
now that we're
Exactly.
talking about it, I did bring up too that she went all full like Ghislaine Maxwell against Kyla because she has a hard on for her. So yeah, so I think that there are certain things that she has done that she should take responsibility for.
Like, I feel like a point is right there, but it has not been addressed. Because
Gotcha.
if all the main points are addressed, for example, I think one of the most important points to hammer on is to cast dubiousness upon like Pixie's character, right? Like why she seems a little bit suspicious because like this by the way, it's okay if you support the lawsuit, but then like I just feel as though like you just can't just not acknowledge like some of the very peculiar parts of her case, right?
Yeah,
Like
that
that
she
just
doesn't
makes
have a
no
lot of
sense.
credibility going in. Her credibility is shot by things like the
Yeah.
Substack, by the fact
Mhm.
that she tried to
Mhm.
cover up so much, by
Mhm.
the fact that she doesn't want to admit that it was her idea initially to make the sex tapes, regardless of who introduced the sex tapes into their sexting. Like he talked
Mhm.
about sex tapes, but she's the one who was like, "Hey, do you want to make a sex tape together?" So there's all these things that she left out of her Substack, which I would consider lies of omission. I really do.
Mhm.
I think she should have
I
given
do.
the
Me
full
too.
context of
Me too.
the videos and how they were transmitted. I think
Mhm.
that's important to me as a person, as a woman, everything. But and I didn't
Yes.
get to make this analogy, but I might make it
Mhm.
sometime some other debate, and I'm sure people will catch on to it because it's a good one.
Mhm.
Basically, imagine a friend comes to you and says something like, "Oh, I got slammed into an alleyway and this guy started kissing me." Okay? Like just imagine
Mm.
that gets said to you and you're like, "Oh my god,
Jesus.
that's like assault. That's like fucking assault." But then a couple of weeks later, you find out that this friend was actually on a dinner date with this man, and they have like a bit of a history of being slightly like frisky with each other in
Yeah.
alleyways. Once you
Mhm.
find that out, once you have this additional context, now you're thinking in your head, wait, when my friend told me this story initially, why did she leave that out? That is a
Yeah.
normal question to ask. And that's a question that I had when I heard about the full context of Pixie Substack, of the
Mhm.
revelation she made. When that happened, I was like, okay, this kind of makes me suspect you a little bit. Then, of course, we know about the extortion attempts, if you want to call it that, and many
Mhm.
other things that I think just totally lower her credibility. I'm still willing to listen to the entire case. If this does go to court, I'm willing to listen to the entire thing and give it a fair shake. But this idea that her reputation is unimpeachable and Destiny is a piece of shit, I don't agree with that. I think I'm going to go into it with open eyes and see what comes out of it. And obviously,
Mhm.
I'm a little bit biased because he is someone that I know quite well. But yeah, this idea that she can't be attacked a little bit is weird to me. They should be doing that. You know, honestly, if the Snark Left did that, I would have more respect for them. If they're like, all
Yeah,
right, she
yeah.
made some missteps here.
I can't believe I can't believe it has gone this far. I just can't. I can't, dude. Oh my god. I want to love women so much, but then it's stuff like this that make me
Yes,
go
but
like,
then
okay.
you do love women, remember? You do. Most of us are quite, actually, most people are quite good. So you have to make
Yeah.
sure not to get bogged down by the impressions you form in this space. First of all, I just think everything in this
Yeah,
space is an
yeah, sure.
outlier. Like
That's
you
true.
have to have like a
That's
more
true.
normal view. Most people never get into cases like these because most people don't really do this stuff. Like they really do.
Mhm.
Most people have the most vanilla sex lives if they're having sex lives
That's
at all.
true. That's
So
true.
it's
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
just by the way, like the few normie people who actually do come across like this specific incident, like they don't like go as crazy as the snarkers. Like maybe they'll
Yeah,
say
they
it's
don't.
peculiar, maybe they'll say it's strange at worst. But by the way, this is at worst. They'll say it's strange or whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty sure like a lot of them, like once they figure out more details about the case, they fully agree with me instead, right? Like they go like, okay, well, like it is very clear that back in my day, women like these would always go around accusing men and blah blah. Like yeah, like this. I'm sorry, that's the normie perspective. Like that is.
Yeah,
It's
the normie
just that's just how it
perspective is
works.
typically to be like, wow, okay, that seems like really weird. Like it seems like really
Mhm.
sexually maximalist, or that's a kink that I've never heard of. But they never go full moral, like, oh my God, I have to like moralize against this guy. This guy's a piece of shit. I have to
Mhm.
get him. Like he has to leave the internet. That is very much a sick, a very, very sick snark left thing. This idea that they
Very,
need to take a
very
person
sick.
down
Very sick.
before a court case is even
Mhm.
done, and they just don't trust the system. And I don't believe it's that they don't trust the system. I think that they just have a vendetta against a specific person.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,